Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. We actually just wrapped. Is it episode? Wait, it's not episode 7, is it? Have we done 6 of these?
We've done 6 of them.
Oh my gosh. Well, we know that we're going to be gone for TwitchCon, and we also know that we kind of got a little behind on our release a couple of times. That sounds wrong, but we just want to give you guys a little extra, a couple more stories. You know, some hanging out, some shooting the shit with Obi and I. Obi, you've got to restart that story.
Oh, okay. So I was talking to OMEN since we just ended the podcast. So we talked about trauma and things like that whenever it comes to being a kid and whatnot. Well, one of mine was I was deciding to play with rocks around cars, and we live on a street. It's a cul-de-sac. You know, we know everyone. When you live on a cul-de-sac, you literally know everyone that's on the cul-de-sac. Because if you don't, you're weird.
Yes.
You're like, you are ostracized from the rest of the community.
You're a hermit.
Like that neighborhood. Yeah, you're the hermit.
Yeah.
You are the bridge troll.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That's the house
And
the neighbor. Oh, sorry, go.
No, go.
I was just gonna say that's the house that the neighborhood kids are like, don't go there, old man Jenkins will eat your cat, you know? Like that's
We knew that guy too. Oh god, it's another story. Anyways, so we start playing like it's baseball because we didn't have a lot growing up. I'm not gonna lie. So I had a stick, and I had a rock. So basically, it's like baseball, right?
yeah, stick
Your
rock.
friend throwing a boulder at you, like that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. So we play a little bit of baseball. I get up to bat. I hit it. It goes directly upward to where we can't see it.
No.
So we're like, what happened? I look back down. I see my neighbor's car across the street. And I witness the back window just take the biggest I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, no.
It was an immediate destruction. The rock was stuck in the actual window.
No.
And so I go and freak the fuck out. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be in so much trouble, dude. Like,
Right.
and so I'm like, I look over at my friend, and he is a betrayer of the brotherhood.
Mhm.
He runs into that neighbor's house and yells, Obi just broke your window.
What a dick.
They
What a dick.
come out and look at me in the eye and say, what in the fuck did you do?
Oh no. How old are you?
And I'm like maybe I'm guessing around 10, 11.
Uh-huh.
And so they start cussing me out. My parents start seeing this. I go inside because I'm like trying to run away.
Yeah.
And my mom, she like looks at me and she's like, what happened? And I was like, I was playing stickball, talking through like the tears and everything. I was playing stickball and I just wanted to play a game. And she's like, I don't even know what you're saying. What happened? I was like, I broke the window. And so my dad and her go outside. They talk it over with the neighbors. They pay for it, which was very nice of my parents. And from that point on, I was not allowed to play stickball. And so we just played wiffle ball.
Bro, do you know how many lawns I'd have had to mow to pay for that back glass? I would have been doing that forever. Also, sad Obi makes me want to run through a brick wall and just beat the fuck out of whoever made you sad. Like, sad Obi broke my heart. You want what he's having. Dude, that sucks. But honestly, that's the way it always goes. If you ever play with anything that can damage something, it's going to hit the most valuable, most breakable thing possible.
Oh, 110%. It's like the moment that an object leaves your hands, that just increased the danger by like 75%.
Oh, yeah. And no matter where you're throwing it, you could blindfold yourself. But no matter which direction you throw, as soon as it leaves your hands, there's at least a 70% chance you're going to pay for whatever it hit.
There's like a whisper in the back of your head. No.
No.
Dude, that's the anxiety kicking in.
I've got proof of this exact thing because I've got a story to bounce off of this.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, I was in the band, right? I was the coolest kid in the band because I played the tuba. As we all know, tuba players are the coolest. And the fact that you said nothing is really reassuring. Thanks, bud. Anyway,
It's okay. I played baritone.
Yes, just nod and let his delusion take hold. Yes. So there's this big open parking lot beside where we get ready for the games. And we're putting on our marching stuff. You know, our Virgin Forever 9000 uniforms. You know, and we're waiting after the game. And like one of the other trumpet players, shout out to Connor. What's up, Connor? Brought a football, right? So we're just throwing the football around. You know, we're not athletes, but we were pretending we were cool for a little bit. And he catches the football and he spikes it into the ground. It bounces straight up in the air, and it was pretty cool, right? And I was like, "That's cool. I didn't know you could do that because like a football's weird, you know. Oh, maybe if I just bounce it directly on the side, it'll bounce straight up. Cool." Next time I catch the football, I'm gonna spike it. You can see where this is going.
I see potential injuries in the future.
I wish it had just been an injury. And
oh no.
So keep in mind, we're in a massive parking lot. There's nothing around us except for us playing football and a little group standing off to the side with one of the band parents and just a couple of the flute players, okay? Nothing can happen. Or so I thought. I catch the football, pretend that I'm Calvin Johnson. Shout out to anybody who knows football. And I spike that bitch directly into the pavement. But apparently, I didn't do it the way Connor did it. Because the heat-seeking missile that is this fucking football flew across the parking lot at warp factor 12, flying at 9,000 miles per hour, right into the band parents' face, breaking their $700 glasses.
Oh my God.
Shattering them. Like, if you were to...
Just like your dreams. Oh, no.
My dreams, my future... my love life, it's all just I am convinced that this one point in life is the fulcrum that changed my entire point in life trajectory to be on an entirely different...
This is your work of Job.
This is... Dude, this is the situation. If I could go back in time and undo a situation from my past, I would have tackled myself right before I spiked this fucking football. And the girl talking to the band parent was like the band member who thought they were a band parent, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like they thought they had to like guide everyone and tell everybody what to do. And she was like, "What are you doing playing football? You know, you should be more careful than that." I'm like, "I didn't tell the football to fly into her face. It just did." My parents get there. And of course, the lady is livid, right?
Okay.
Naturally. But I'm like, it was an accident. It's not like I beamed it at her face. Of course, the rest of the football playing crew that I was with have magically vanished. They have disappeared into the night, gone like leaves on the wind, okay?
Okay.
My mom comes walking up, and this woman's like, you know, my rims are like really expensive. Pause. But she was like, my rims are really expensive. And my mom goes, "Okay, well, how much are they? We'll pay for them." She goes, $600. The look on my mom's face is just that of sheer shock. She looks at this woman. She goes, "You couldn't have found more expensive ones."
Your mom is fucking funny as shit.
Dude, I love my mom. She's great. "You couldn't have found ones that were more expensive?" And she looks at me. She goes, "You have the worst luck. You know that?" And I go, "Hey, yep, that was the last one for me." I never spiked a football again, and I never will, because I know the next time I do, I'm gonna launch it. It's gonna bounce, fly all the way to Nevada, and land on the nuclear detonation codes, and I'm gonna end the fucking world. Like, I don't know what it is. I've never had luck with anything in my life. Have you ever won a raffle or anything?
Yeah, actually.
Never. I have never won a raffle. I have entered
Really?
so many. Here's one thing. This will tell you how unlucky I am. All right.
Okay.
I entered a raffle. Again, I'm a nerd. I played tuba. I collected comic books. You get what you get. Look, Anyway, I entered a raffle for a comic book that I had always wanted. And in this raffle, you could pick which number you wanted, and if they picked your number, you would win. So I picked 7, and as I turned in 7, somebody else turned in 7 at the exact same time.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, literally the exact moment. So one of us had to change. Like the guy behind the desk was like, "Oh, you guys can't both pick 7." So I go, "Okay, well, I'll bump up to 8." Guess what fucking number it was, Obi? Guess what fucking number?
I'm just gonna look over real quick.
Can I see a 7?
That
I'm surprised that you're not on your villain arc at this point.
I really should be. I really, really should be. I have been hosed like that so many times. And, I should have made him change his fucking number. And the thing is, the dude was really nice. When it hit 7, he looked over at me and he was like, "I am so sorry."
Oh my god.
But I'm like, "Sorry enough to give me number 7?" He goes, "No."
Bro. That's so fucked.
Dude, and I have come within a number of winning raffles 3 or 4 times. But I've never done it. Not once. The only time... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
The only time I've ever won something was like, I was in 3rd grade. Shows you how rare it is, because I remember my 3rd grade for this. I guessed the right amount of like M&Ms in a jar of M&Ms.
Okay.
Like dead on. The exact number, and I won the jar of M&Ms. That's it. That's all that's my entire... I put that on my fucking resume whenever I apply for jobs. Well, I guess 274 M&Ms in my 3rd grade math class.
Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna talk about school.
Oh, here we go.
Because you got the teacher and candy, and those are the 2 things that I'm thinking about for this specific story.
Is that when Miss Robinson lured the...
No, this was actually if you're out there, you're still hot, would fuck. Miss Rodriguez was my 5th grade teacher. She was my 5th grade teacher, right? Super, super sweet, amazing. God, she was hot too. Anyways, she would always be like, "Oh, well, we're gonna do like a special little like quiz or something, right?" And so we do the pop quiz, and anyone who got a what do you call it? We got a 10. I think it was a 10. If you got a 10, then you got to get a candy out of her candy jar, and it could be any candy. Bro, I lost my fucking mind over these Jolly Ranchers, the blue ones. Oh, dude, I was over the moon and back just to be able to get these fucking things, dude.
Stop, I'll come.
I know, right? Like my mouth is watering at those.
Mine too. I'm salivating. I'm leaking. Look what you did.
I've got a little bit of a leaky faucet now. So yeah, she there was one day I was not good at her classes. It was shit. Academically, I was a shit, student.
Same.
Literally across the board. I'm so sorry, Miss Rodriguez. You had to deal with a shit person like me. Anyway, fucking, she goes and brings me the jar, and I'm like, "Well, what? I didn't get a 10." She's like, "No, you did. I just testing you." And I was like, "Oh," because like I was like excited for everyone that got 10s. And then she gave it to me. I reached in there and I pulled it out as if it was a golden nugget.
I'm gonna cry.
Like, oh, Miss Rodriguez. Oh, if you're out there, fucking hit me up. You're so dope for that.
You're gonna I really don't want to say what I was about to say. You're gonna be
Say it, and if it's so bad, we will do the thing.
you're just gonna be railing Miss Rodriguez, and you're gonna lean down to whisper in her ear. You're gonna be like, "Thanks for the Jolly Rancher." Oh, I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the candy. All right, let me get that sweat off you.
Oh my goodness! Shout out to Miss Rodriguez if you're still hot, hit him up.
If you're still hot, hit me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot my shot too, Miss Jasper. If you're still hot, look, I know you're married, but just because there's a goalie don't mean you can't score.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, dude, that's so funny.
Let's do this. Who was your high school crush? You don't have to name drop them, but who was your high school crush?
Oh man.
And did you date them?
No.
What?
No, dude. I was a late bloomer, right?
Okay.
So I never had a girlfriend in high school.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I was not exact. Again, I played tuba in the band, and I was about 370 pounds. No, ain't not a lot of people lining up around the corner to get a
Bro,
shot at me.
I thought it was gonna be on-demand pussy.
You'd think like you see me rolling down the hall, you're like, damn,
Bro,
Like-
because I don't know, you're kind of strong too. You know?
I am strong. I was actually I was walking down the hall one day, and like a bunch of these girls were following me around. I thought I was it. It turns out they were just stuck in my orbit. So I had to
Oh my god. Stop.
I can laugh at myself now.
You
Get out the trauma. But no, my high school crush, that's a good question. Are you talking like, I don't know. I feel like we had such a, man. I'm trying to think of which one would be the best story. Because there was one that's kind of like messed up. And then there's one that's kind of like, I'll tell this one. Do you remember that there used to be a thing kind of like that newer website? Oh, what's it called? It's like Telenym or whatever. You can ask anonymous questions.
Oh yeah, I got on there, and then people started asking me some crazy ass questions.
I need to make
and
one.
so
I need to make
got
one.
off there.
Yeah, I've heard that some people can get some really crazy shit.
Mm.
There used to be one like that back when we were when I was in high school.
Mm.
And like my crush made one. And so I would like be like, oh, this would be kind of romantic. I'll send like a couple anonymous messages, just like, and not anything like creepy or anything, just like,
Sure.
I think you're cute. I think you're really fun. You're awesome. You're fun to talk to, secret admirer type deal, and like she was really into it and really thought it was like really cute and like really wanted to know who it was and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the minute she found out it was me, she was like disgusted.
What?
Yeah. See, this is again, I feel like I'm unloading a lot of trauma here, but this is a big reason why my self-esteem took such a wallop when I was in high school. Yeah.
Bro.
So yeah, it whacked me pretty good. Yeah, that was one. There was the other one. I think I've told this story too. I didn't mean for this to be like a pull me down thing. I'm doing much better now. I feel great. Don't be feeling sad for me. I'm fine. But like high school was pretty rough on old OMEN over here. But
Bro,
yeah.
I need to go back in time because like I was a freshman, but I could have saved you, brother.
You could have saved me from so many states away.
Oh my god. No, if we were in the same state, like I could have been there for you.
Oh, you good, man. I will say this. I had really good friends. I had really good people around me that did their best to pick me up. But it's hard, to believe your value when that's the reinforcement you get constantly from people that you're interested in, And let me see. Do I have one? I have one that's a little less traumatic.
Okay.
Oh, this one's kind of messed up. Okay. So I was really into this one girl. And she was kind of known to be, what's the word?
Let me think of a nice word.
Promiscuous.
I was gonna say whore, but
I was trying not to.
Guys, if it's not relevant at this point, I have taken my medication. So I may space a little bit.
Promiscuous. I was gonna say whore. No. So everybody kind of had that, or she had that kind of thing about her. Like everybody kind of thought that about her.
Mm-hmm.
But any interaction I had with her was just the nicest thing ever, and she seemed like, really sweet. And she always said, like, I'm not that type of person. I'm not really, they just say things because they want to, make stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go over to, this is like right after we graduated. We all go over to, so this is, I guess, just after high school. We all go over to a friend's house, and they were having a wild ass party at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And she proceeds in that night, and keep in mind, I was really into her at this point, right? We had been hanging out. She was like, I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm not into that. We are at this party, and she proceeds to sleep with like 4 different people at that party that night. Which, hey, do you? I don't, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But like, what you saying and what you're doing is not the same thing. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Yeah.
So she basically just went and said, yeah, I could do about 5, maybe 4.
I think we'll settle for 4.
She wanted me to be around to, like, be the shoulder to cry on,
Bro.
And that's what I was a lot. Like, I was always the guy that I was such a nice guy. I was so funny. I was all this, but I was not good enough to be with. That was it in high school. Yeah.
Yeah. No, honestly, I can relate quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, a lot of the relationships that I was in high school, were obviously spread off of like friendship and like the fact that we went to school together and things like that, right?
Yeah.
But it felt like they had only trauma to talk about whenever we were together, and that always seemed very difficult, like it made it seem like we were more of just friends that just enjoyed kissing.
Which, again, nothing wrong with that if that's what you're into.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, it was I will say there were a few of them that did not do that, and I'm not gonna name drop them, but see, if you know who you are, you know who you are. I'm not gonna say you're just the first letter C. If you know who you are, you thank you, you were a great person.
How dare you say you broke his heart? I'm just kidding, I don't know.
Yeah, I love talking about school stories, man. There's something very opening about them.
Definitely. I would say, as far as my school stories, I don't know, man. Like, the best part about high school for me was actually the fact that, I'm not sure if I've ever told this story. When I was a senior, one of my best friends and I, we worked together in the copy room, because back then they just had the students perform labor. And so we worked in the copy room, and like teachers would come in, hey, I need this many copies, double-sided, hole punch, stapled, blah, blah, blah. Fortunately, we had a machine that would do all of that for us.
Oh.
Yeah, it was big, fancy room, and you just put in, double-sided, hole punch, 10 sheets, front, back, everything. But unfortunately, the copiers were really loud, and they would run all day if you're doing something like that. So we would be sitting there, we'd make sure the mail was taken care of, and that was in like the lunch period, so it was a bit longer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'd just be sitting there like, well, what do we do? And we were teenage boys, so we were like, let's find ways to creatively beat the shit out of each other. And do you know those things that are in like doctor's offices where, or like banks, where it's the chain that holds the pen to the table?
Oh no.
You know what
Yeah, I do.
So we find a drawer just chock full of them, just ready to be adhesived and just stuck on desks.
Oh
These are two very big chains. And so we proceed to start treating them like bullwhips and chase each other around. Looking back on it, we must have looked like fucking idiots, because anybody could have walked by. We're in the front office. We're not exactly being sneaky. And
No, you're just openly LARPing in front of all the student body.
oh, we were throwing lightning bolts, man. Let me tell you, we were smacking the shit out of each other. So much so that we'd go to lunch and there would be red welts just all the way. And they would be in the shape of the chain. Like they would be in the little, like the other those chains like little balls.
Oh
It's exactly what it would be, just dotting down our arms. And
holy shit.
the thing that made it even better was we were giggly fucks, right? We'd start hitting each other like smack. We'd run around, just smack each other. So we would start to gather an audience of like faculty, and I think they played the game of how many people can look through the mail slots before they notice us and stop, right? So it took our teacher, who was Miss Young. Shout out to Miss Young. I don't even know if you're still alive, but she was kind of old at the time. But she, let me tell you, if there was one person that I could give $1 million to on this planet, it would be Miss Young. She was just the epitome of niceness and kindness and sweetness, and she was every bit of like 4'11". And her voice was like this. I'm not even joking. This is what she sounded like. She was so adorable.
Oh my god, she sounds amazing.
She was, man. And she didn't care which lunch we went to. She's like, as long as you be
talking about her like she's dead, man.
Yeah, I'm actually going to her funeral.
She was nice.
She really was. I'm really gonna miss that lady. Anyway, but she would come around the corner. Her office was right beside the mailroom. She would come around the corner and stick her head, look through the bottom mail slot. That's how short she was.
Oh my.
And she'd be like, I hope you boys aren't hurting each other.
Oh.
And we would immediately just like toss the chains behind her back. We're like, no, Miss Young, we're perfectly fine. Everything's okay. And she's like, are you boys using the chains from the pins to hit each other? I'm like, yes, Miss Young. And she'd be like, can you please not do that? Okay. We'd put them back in the drawer, and then we'd find the jar of paper clips. And we'd start shooting hornets at each other.
Oh my god. Hornets were the worst, dude.
Oh god. And they'd stick in you.
Oh, they would. Yeah. We would take paper and the paper clips, and we would origami the paper clip into the actual. Yeah. And then we would take the ends and we would push them through the or like the tips basically of the paper clips to push through the top of it. And basically we were making arrowheads at school and launching them with rubber bands, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, I do it once and I get detention. And it was literally, I shot it hit someone in the back of the head, and then a small amount of blood started falling down the back of their neck.
Oh no.
That got me detention. Like it was detention and in-school suspension. So I had to, it was bad. I only had in-school suspension twice whenever I was in high school.
Damn, I don't think I ever got suspended from school.
Yeah, it was rough, to be honest. I'm not proud of how I grew up, but I will say that I did grow up, whenever I got older. But yeah, no, fucking, what's the worst that you got in trouble?
Oh man.
With teachers, with I'm okay. The worst you've been in trouble, 17 or younger.
That is a fantastic question. Wow. Wow. Okay. So
You sound like my representative from from Missouri. That's a great question. I really like that question.
it's a really great job. Really proud of that question.
We're proud of that.
I wasn't really a get in trouble when your parents are both police officers and will come down on you with the fire and brimstone of hell itself. Like you really learn to not get in trouble too much. There were several times in which I don't think I ever got in trouble at school, but there was well, my dad worked at the school. He was the youth resource officer.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you really can't get in trouble.
No. Your boy would have been wearing my own teeth as a necklace if I'd gotten in trouble. Not really. He doesn't abuse me. He's a great dad. But I just feel like I've got to make sure. They'll be like, Omen's dad's an asshole. No, he's not. He's great. But there were several times when I'd go out with my friends and I lived in like an area with a bunch of more country folk, if I put it that way.
Okay.
Right?
Bumpkins, I get it.
Yeah. We had a very bumpkin upbringing. So a lot of us had like lifted trucks and the whole, the big obnoxious exhausts and everything. And we would go off-roading late at night in the middle of woods where we're not supposed to be there. And
of course you would.
Of course. So we go out one day. We had this place called The Pipes, which was really a construction site where they had leftover like steel pipes. And you had to really cross like some treacherous terrain to get back to this area. And we took but they took their four-wheelers out there. I was more of just a passenger for this because if I had taken my truck through there, I would have been, destroyed. But we notice after a while, everybody's out on their four-wheelers. Some of us are hanging out. We're kind of grilling back there. We really shouldn't have been there. But we noticed for a while, Jordan's not back yet.
Oh my God.
Jordan has been missing for an hour.
There's no way.
I'm sure he's fine. We get no reception out here, by the way. We're really smart. We're really genius.
Just the pinnacle.
Oh yeah, just again, I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm not dumb, but I'm stupid. So we go looking for him. We come around this corner, and there, sure as shit's Jordan stuck with his four-wheeler in about 3 feet of mud.
Oh my God.
Surrounded by police.
Bro.
We are in an area that is incredibly illegal to be on.
Oh man.
And now it's pronounced OMEN, but thank you. So so then we go over there. We've already been trespassed from this place once. So technically we can be arrested for being out here.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. So I haven't, because I haven't been out there before, but we're rolling up on this and they're like, oh, you guys have been trespassed from here before. I'm like, okay. They start running everybody's ID, which inevitably comes to getting to my ID and them looking at my ID and then looking at me. Everybody knew my dad. My dad was kind of like everywhere, right? And they look at me, they look at, ID, and they say this to me. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Do you know who your dad is?
Oh my God.
And I thought for a split second about being a real smartass and being like, no, do you? I don't know. He left when I was really young. Do you know who my dad is?
Oh my God.
But yeah, and then at that point, he comes, my dad doesn't show that up there, but they're like, are you deputy? Oh, I almost said my last name. Are you deputy son? And I was like, yeah, fully aware now that when I got home, I was about to be worn like a Converse All-Star. And they go, well, we'll let you guys off with a warning this time, but don't do it again.
Holy shit.
The butthole, you could not have driven a nail through my asshole with a jackhammer from how puckered my butt was from that whole experience. So I got very lucky. Very lucky. I also don't think my parents have heard that story. Love you, Dad. Love you, Mom. And I don't think they ever contacted my dad either, which was shocking. Like, I think they thought we were just going to tell them when we got back, but we never did.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's most of my stories involve police, believe it or not. Not from me being a dipshit, from my friends being a dipshit.
You know, it's so surprising. I think I only got in trouble with the cops twice. I think. Yeah, it was twice. One of them was skinny dipping. And then the other one was I tried to run away from home.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know if I want to go into that one.
You
know what? Nah, fuck it.
It's bonus content.
It's bonus content. So, I had a really bad time in my life, and unfortunately, I separated from my parents for a short period of time. Was taken in by one of my friends, and I don't know. I had overstayed my welcome, basically.
Okay.
And they asked me to, try to go home, and I went to school that day that they were telling me, and I got detention. I got out of detention, and then my it was my vice principal. He came out and he started yelling at me that I need to go home and all this stuff, and he's just trying to advocate for me,
Yeah.
And I cussed him out. I dressed him down in every word that you could possibly have as far as derogatory vocabulary. And he said, "You left your stuff as well. Go grab it and go home because you're not coming to school for a week." And yeah, I was in major trouble at that point because I couldn't go to school, I couldn't go home, couldn't go to my friend's place. So I end up going over to another friend's place, stay there for a little bit, and then the neighborhood knows the neighborhood.
Right.
They called my mom, told them where I was, and my parents came over. I cried and I went home.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, we didn't talk about what happened, that caused the separation. But yeah, sorry to get a little deep on that one.
No, you're good. I had a deep moment earlier, so we're getting a little deep on the bonus content.
Oh yeah, and the resource officer, I forgot that part of the story. My bad. The resource officer chased me down down the street. Yeah, he chased me down and basically it was like, "You gotta go home," and I was like, "I'm not safe at home." And he's like, "Do you have a place where you can go?" And he dropped me off at my friend's place.
The resource officer did.
The resource officer did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
no. He was an OG. He was like, I imagine that he understood where I was coming from.
Yeah.
And eventually, someone would tell my parents where I'm at.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I wouldn't expect a resource officer to do that. That's wow. Oh
yeah,
God.
no, that, and again, like I said, I think it is because he probably understood where I was at.
I remember.
I don't know.
My dad had a situation kind of where he tried to help someone out. Well, he did. Near my school, again, it was kind of bumpkin territory. We had a lot of kids who went hunting and stuff. One kid comes in, not gonna name names, but comes in crying to my dad that he had left his shotgun in his truck.
Oh no.
Yeah, and there's like a zero tolerance policy, no guns on campus, no guns in the cars, nothing, right? Not even a shotgun from a hunting rack or anything. And then so my dad goes out there with him and takes it from him, and he's like, okay, because he should have gotten him in trouble for this. He should have.
Yeah.
But he was like, just have your parents come pick it up at the end of the day. and like saved this kid like detention and suspension and everything.
Holy shit.
Well, because like it wasn't his fault. He didn't mean to. Like there's a difference between bringing it knowingly and then just being like, oh shit, this is still here. You know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
You just reminded me of another story.
Go for it.
So we had drug dogs come to our school.
Yep, same.
And it was okay, so for anyone that is in school right now or otherwise, right? This is for old people. When we're old, we did not really have these things happen. We didn't have drills go off and things like that.
Yeah.
For the most part, it was very calm. You never had like police drills. So when it happened, it was just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, what? I don't even know what's going on. And lo and behold, it was one of the guys that had just transferred from another school district. He had marijuana in his locker.
Oh.
And he literally, it was so scary because they locked the doors. You could hear them go up and down the halls, like looking for the smell, whose marijuana it is, and then go and get the kid. It was like, it was pretty intense because like we're sitting in class and we're like, no one's focusing at that point.
No.
Like if you think you have a child's attention at all at your linguistics, no, it's not happening, but like, so the teachers that didn't give a fuck. We just were all interested. And so they ended up, getting the kid and bringing him down to the principal's office. I had to go to gym. And so I had to pass by the principal's office near the gymnasium. And I saw the kid in the principal's office. It wasn't even the principal's office. It was the disciplinary principal's office with like 3 or 4 cops.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was intense. I was like, is it really that bad that he brought weed? Like, did it take 4 people to take down this child? I don't know. It seemed a little excessive, but I mean, it's K9 unit. What do you expect?
Well, that's interesting because they would do the same thing in my school. But when they did it at my school, it was a lot more discreet. Yeah, it was really, you didn't know until they came in the classroom.
Yeah.
Like they were very quiet about it. They didn't really do a whole lot. They didn't make a big deal of it. And it was always like my dad and the other officer that had the K9. It was never like a big show of force. It was just, really calm, really collected, really, easygoing. It's really interesting to hear about like the difference in like, because it sounds like your situation, they like wanted to show force.
Yeah. And the worst part about it is
my headphone died again. Say it again.
The worst part about like the whole situation was that like my city that I lived in whenever I was young and went to school was basically ran by 2,000-year-old elders. When it comes to the city hall or the community hall, leaders or whatever they're at, right, for the town. And so they were so against like drugs being ran through there that they were giving out like more than $10,000 fines.
Damn.
It was excessive. They were booking people for it too, not just like full on arrest. And I'm like, I don't believe it's an arrest. I mean, technically, yes, because they committed, a misdemeanor, but like you could at least like take them down without putting them in cuffs and all that stuff.
Okay, they're back. I'm back. I heard you could at least.
But you could at least like not like, I don't know, go that far. But they were very excessive with the police force and drugs through our area. But I believe it was because we were right next to a freeway that runs all the way through the middle of the country.
Oh, okay. Yes,
it could be that as well.
Very well could be. I'll know. I know that I can't. Again, this would be a really good thing to bring up when my dad's on because he could talk about this at length. but I'm pretty sure that the only times that I ever saw him arrest anybody well, I don't think I ever saw him arrest anybody, but the only times that they would detain people for like drugs or stuff, it was if they were repeat offenders.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. Like, first time is usually like a slap on the wrist. Well, again, it also depends on what they have and how much of it they have. You know, if you open a kid's bag and he's got a kilo of cocaine, I don't think he's really. He's like, okay, just slap on the wrist and go. Don't do it again.
He's just like, this is probably his first time doing this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, dude. Like school for me, the police presence was a lot less. Though, again, my dad was like really cool, so a lot of the times nobody really wanted to mess up because my dad is very much the dad figure to a lot of people.
Sure.
So they didn't want to disappoint my dad. You know what I mean?
Bro, for real.
Dude, it's what it was. Like, you guys think I always told him, I was like, you guys think you have it bad? Try actually having him as a dad, man. You feel like so guilty without even doing anything, Like, I think I flipped him off one time when I was like in middle school and I felt so bad for it. I was like, that's my dad. He'll be disappointed in me if he knows I flipped him off, He's
not going to be mad. He's going to be disappointed.
And that's so much worse.
Oh,
dude, I can't wait for him to come on. That's going to be so much fun.
Oh, definitely.
I'm so thrilled with that. As far as other school things, is like getting in trouble in school. Man, did I? Oh, I have one. Oh, this just came back to me. I think I blocked this one out via trauma from when I was really little.
Oh no.
I was probably 12 when we moved into the other house. So when we lived in the trailer, I was probably 8 or 9, right?
Okay.
My brother had his group of friends, and they had this one friend that they didn't really like. They just kind of felt forced to hang out with.
Sure.
Right? And I felt, God, dude, I hate this so much. I actually might have to have you cut this. We'll see.
Okay.
Like, oh, I'm such an asshole. So, my 8-year-old self heard them constantly dogging on this guy, right?
Okay.
God. He came over one day to see if my brother was home, and he wasn't. And I answered the door. I'm like 9. And I look at this kid who's probably, if I'm 9, he's probably 16, 17. And I go, look, man, just so you know, they don't like you.
Oh no.
Like they don't really like you. You should probably find some better friends.
Oh no.
In my I feel so I'm hurting just by saying this. But I'm in my mind as a 9-year-old, I'm like, I'm saving this kid trouble. I'm helping him by telling him that they don't value him as a friend. Right?
Oh man.
I know.
You gotta let him down gently.
I felt in my 9-year-old wisdom, I was like, I'll just go rip the Band-Aid off.
You fucked his whole life, dude. Holy shit.
Bro, I just thought of this, and as soon as it came back to my brain, my heart sank. I felt, I still feel bad. And I didn't register. I was like, I don't realize what I did wrong until I got like a couple years older. I'm like, I'm a fucking dick.
Oh no.
And like,
dude.
And the funny thing was, I was like proud of it at the time. Like I was like, yeah, I've helped him out. They don't have to, one, they don't. Well, the first thing is he can find friends that appreciate him, and secondly, my brother and his friends don't have to hang out with him anymore. Right? I was like, it's a win-win for everybody. Right? I walk in, and keep in mind, my parents kind of knew that my brother didn't like this guy.
Okay.
Right? So I walk in and I'm like, I just told so-and-so that nobody likes him.
Oh my God. Oh You're committed. You're so committed. God. The next lucky lady, man. she's gonna get the honest to God truth.
Oh my gosh, dude. Holy shit. Oh, dude. So of course both of them look at, well, my dad laughs, but my my mom looks at me horrified, naturally, as one should, because I'm a fucking tiny asshole, right? And they're like, oh, you're grounded and you gotta, that was my only time actually ever being grounded.
Okay, so you only got grounded like one time, right?
Time. I only got grounded one time. Yeah.
Oh my God, we're the same.
Dude, my parents were very much like, if you don't give me a reason not to trust you, I will trust you. Right? And that was it. And I was like, that seems incredibly fair. So I tried to respect what they said. I mean, I gave them lip sometimes, but I was a kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I always respected what they said, and in turn, they let me do what I want. And that's pretty, like, you know, I feel like that's a good lesson to live by. Like, if you just respect your parents, most of the time, they'll be pretty chill. Granted, in there's certain cases in which, you know, your parents are not good people, and of course, stuff like that. But by and large, but dude, yeah, I had to call him and tell them that I was like just kidding and like I was just being an ass and, you know, that I'm sorry. And like my mom had to get on the phone and do damage control. And
holy shit,
dude, I just talking about it now, I feel like the biggest bag of dicks in the world.
Do you still have contact with him?
No. No.
Oh.
No, he moved away later. If I recall, good.
Maybe you should apologize.
Apologize?
Yeah, you
I
should
already
just
apologized
find
to
that guy. No, you find that guy and be like, you know, I'm reliving this moment right now, and I just feel like you deserve an apology again.
You know what, Joe?
Joe, if you're listening.
Joe, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I was a 9-year-old. I was impressionable. I was an asshole. I thought I was doing the right thing. I cannot. Oh my God. That might be the only thing I've actually blocked from my memory because it bothered me so much. Like,
shout out to you, Joe.
I hope old Joey's doing pretty good for himself. I hope he's happy. I hope Joe found some people who appreciate him. Joe was a good guy.
Joe's a good guy. He's great. He's a good guy.
But I think that might be the only time I ever really, truly, really a rebel here. I only got in trouble because I was 9 years old and told somebody that no one liked them. That was it. Yeah, I didn't really have a chance to get in trouble because of my parents. That was kind of the thing. Like, they weren't helicopter parents, but they were definitely like, we know everything before you do. You know? Like, if I ever, typically, aside from the few moments I've shared here, if I ever remotely got in trouble or my friends got in trouble, I would hear about it when I got home.
Oh.
Without me even telling them. Like, they were like mind readers or some shit. I don't know how they did it. And they could tell me each of my friends and how much they smoked and if they smoked and who drinks and who doesn't drink. And like, they were dead right every time. I was like, damn, like they're fucking, do I have something written on my face or some shit? Like, how do they know all this? But yeah, man, that was my childhood. Having cops for parents kind of made it tough. Not tough. Yeah. It was a good life, but you know. Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's just a different lifestyle. And funny enough, we oh God, I am gonna tell this story.
Do it.
So back whenever I was in 3rd grade, there was this kid. For the sake of this conversation, he will be known as Bam Biff.
Okay.
So Bam Biff, you know, he and I sat next to each other and we were drawing something. I don't remember. I think we were drawing something for art, and you know, I drew a gun on my paper. And it was the same hunting rifle that my dad uses. And it was just me drawing, and I was like, you know, my dad, he goes and gets like all these deer, and you know, Sam looks over and he's like, that's not allowed in school. I was like, okay, little backstory on what I'm about to say.
Wait,
okay,
did you just call him by his first name? I think you just said his name.
We're gonna mute that. So Bam,
Bam Biff.
Bam Biff, Bam looks over at me and he's like, "That's not allowed in school, right?" My smart ass thinks it's okay to just say, "Yeah, my dad has a gun."
Oh.
Like to start conversation.
Oh.
But my dumb ass did think that was a good idea. So I said it in the worst tone I've ever given someone. My dad has a gun. And he left the seat, went up and talked with Miss Roberts or Mrs. Roberts, sorry. Don't want to. Yeah, anyways. Talked to Miss Roberts and I immediately was taken out of the room.
No
I
way.
was physically removed from the room. They brought out my desk and I had to sit in the hall.
What?
I got no explanation of what happened until recess when I had to stay inside with my teacher.
But, huh? But all you did was, you didn't say you have a gun.
Yeah, I didn't say I have a gun. I just said my dad has a gun. And so I'm sitting there in suspended recess and I asked, I was like, "What did I do wrong?"
Yeah.
And she said I was putting a threatening tone out there that my dad has guns.
Oh, jeez.
And I kid you not, I got no remorse for the amount of mental trauma I got from Bam Biff.
First off,
So Bam Biff, I fuck you.
yeah,
Anyways.
Bam Biff, if you're out here watching Lick My Taint, Bam Biff.
Yeah.
You know what? My dad's got a gun too.
Can you timestamp when we said that?
Well, kinda. Yeah.
Just put in the DMs.
55.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you said his name for a second.
Oh, great.
I'm just envisioning, like, instead of, so you drew the thing of the gun, right?
Mhm.
I'm just envisioning you like drawing that and sliding it over to him, and it's a picture of the gun that just says, "I have a gun. Give me your lunch money." You want threatening? I'll give you threatening.
I want to get an extra chicken patty today.
Dude. I hear my puppy. Dude, that actually, speaking of guns and stuff, that actually takes me back a little bit to my headset. God dang it. There we go. Wait. Say something? Oh, babe.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry, my headset's fucking up.
Oh no, you're fine.
So I might have actually told this story. I'm not entirely sure. Did I tell the story on the podcast about when I went to the shooting range with my dad?
No, I don't think you have.
Okay. So my dad, I'm ending up talking a lot about my dad lately, but anyway, before he was just a normal old police officer, he was actually a firearms instructor for the precinct area.
Mm-hmm.
And in my early days of shooting, I would go with him and he would show me what to do. And he was telling me this one time, he goes, "Always keep the gun down range. And even if a brass bounces around, because they're known to do that, like if it hits you, keep the gun down range, or if it falls down your shirt, keep the gun down range." Because we had it happen one time where a little girl was shooting and the brass bounced off the wall, went down the back of her shirt. She reached up with the gun and shot her dad.
What?
Yeah, she reached up like with her hand with the gun in it to like reach back to get the brass, and then she squeezed and shot her dad.
Oh my God.
He tells me that as we're going in, and I'm like, "Well, that can never happen. Right? That's never going to be a thing that happens."
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there, no shit. The very first round out of the firearm, the brass bounces off the wall, down the back of my shirt, and I go to start doing what the little girl did. And before I go, no, and I like force my hand forward. If I hadn't thought about it, I probably would have ended up doing the same exact thing. How crazy is that, dude?
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. And then this is another reason why I don't really like shooting indoors anymore, because like a round later, I wear glasses. I don't know how this happened. This goes back to my shitty luck. It's right up there with the Raffles thing and the spiking the sunglasses. The brass, I'm wearing a baseball cap and glasses. The brass bounces off the wall, flies back, and wedges between the glasses and my eyeball.
Oh my God.
And proceeds to start cooking me until I can reach up and get it out from behind my glasses.
Dude.
I'm convinced that gravity and physics is my arch nemesis and it's trying to kill me.
Oh, it has to be.
100%.
I mean, like I said, you are truly living the tale of Job.
Dude, I don't get it. I don't know what I did. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's penance for telling Joey that no one liked him. I'm paying.
If you're
for
out
it.
there, Joey, we're sorry. On behalf of the podcast.
On behalf of the we'll send you a fruit basket. If you can confirm your identity, I'll send you a fruit basket.
Yeah.
Or
big old fruit basket.
from our hopefully new sponsor, Monster Energy. We'll send you some recovery. Yeah, we'll send you some Monster recoveries. But yeah, dude, we're about an hour into this extra stuff. Do we want to go ahead and wrap this up as our little bonus content?
Oh yeah, definitely. This was good. Thank you guys for listening to this one. Fucking, I don't know. I wasn't really planning on doing this one, but I don't know. It just felt right, you know?
Yeah, we were getting ready to end, and we ended podcast, and we're like, oh, that reminds me of this story. Oh, it reminds me of this story. Like, we just had so much more to go. We're like, you know what? Let's just start recording again and just continue on for a bit. So this will probably release probably the week after TwitchCon, and then we'll do our recap the week after that. Or did you want to do the other way?
I was thinking about keeping this one up. Let's see. So we're leaving for TwitchCon on the not giving dates, blah 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 blah. We're leaving next week.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking it could be uploaded on the 21st.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely do that. And then we'll go then we'll get into our recap, and then we'll have my father on the podcast, which I'm ecstatic for. Thank you guys for tuning in. LB, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
I think if you enjoy flambés, you're too rich. You need to downsize.
If you like flambe, you need to reanalyze your life priorities. Just cook it before.
It's not that hard.
It's not that big of a deal. Thank you guys for tuning into this special episode of the podcast. We will see you guys after TwitchCon. Peace.
Bye.